Panther people, what's up? All right, this is episode 4 of the Panther Post. I'm Phil Perkins. Thanks for tuning in yet again. If you haven't followed us on Twitter yet, it's at Panthers Post 1 for Kill a Cam. Also, if you're new to this channel, first of all, thanks for clicking. I appreciate it. I guess my thumbnail ain't that bad. Make sure to like, subscribe. Also, comment. Let me know how you're feeling. I think a lot of people have been into that lately, last couple of days. A lot of back and forth with people, especially about my mock drafts and how I draft tight ends a little too early in the 7-round mock. Firstly, that's awesome. That means you're watching until the mock, which isn't until later in the episode. So I really appreciate that. Again, shout out to guys like Antoine Forever, Paul Mancini, Seeker with 2 E's, Joseph Rhodes, Mark Cummings, QT0, Coach P Music. Show me some beats. Also, shout out to Cliff and Samantha, my Charlotte family, my Charlotte brother from another mother, my sister from another mister, always supportive of my not only love for the Panthers, showing me some love with some tickets a year ago with my brother against the Seahawks, but also liking and subscribing on this channel. If you're a member of the Roaring Riot, shout out. Been a member since 2015. Just show some support for your fellow Riot members. Like, subscribe, comment. I appreciate it. But enough of that. Let's get right to it. There was so much that happened this week pertaining to the Carolina Panthers. I almost did a midweek vlog, but then I realized, the draft is next week, less than a week away. I'm going to be doing vlogs Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Let's give myself a bit of a break. Let's compile all the news that happened over the week. The draft is less than a week away. I am super hype, but we all have to realize that all these little nuggets that we're going to be hearing, whether it's through beat reporters or through the GM Scott Fitterer himself, it is lying season. It is smoke screen season. We have to take everything they say with a grain of salt. But seeing that this is a fan vlog, let's have some fun with it. Let's assume they're completely serious.
I believe in bringing in the best players that can fit your team, create competition, and upgrade your roster. So whether it's a quarterback, a corner, it doesn't matter. It's just how do they fit our team? What's the path for success?
This is an idea that Rhule and Fitterer have been beating like a dead horse for the last couple of months, that they're going to be taking the best player available regardless of position. He explicitly talks about the quarterback room. And of course, we know they traded 3 picks for Sam Darnold, but that doesn't mean that he is the starter. They haven't picked up his 5th-year option. He said that they're going to approach that after the draft. The deadline, I believe, is May 3rd. So we're going to see what happens. It'd be interesting to see because when asked, does he have a quarterback in this draft class that Fit believes is a fit in Carolina?
You feel like fits your team best out of those top 5 guys that everyone's talking about?
Yes.
Can you share?
No. No, there's actually several of them that we're excited about, just like there's several players, but we're not going to get into exactly who.
When it comes to talking football, Fitterer and Rhule haven't really gotten giddy like they just did in that clip. They were like 2 dudes who had their crush and someone clearly just called them on it, and both of them are just trying to keep their lips shut. They don't want to say who they have a crush on, who they got making eyes with. But man, it is quite intriguing. What I would do to be a fly in the wall in that draft room, in that war room on the 300 level of Bank of America Stadium, to see that list, what I believe is 155 or 166 players that Rhule and Fit, and I guess Tepper, think are all draftable players that could be good additions to the team. I wish I knew what quarterback is it. Of course, it's not Trevor Lawrence because he's gone. It's not Wilson. He's gone. But is it Mac Jones? Is it Justin Fields? Is it Trey Lance? I have a theory on why it is not Trey Lance a little bit later on in the episode. Is it Kellen Mond? Because remember, they asked him out of the top 5, out of Lawrence, Wilson, Jones, Fields, Lance, which one of the top 5 do they have their eyes on, who they're in love with, that they feel could be a fit with the Panthers? They didn't ask which remaining 3 after Lawrence and Wilson were taken. They said all 5. So they said there's 1. So it could be Lawrence, and we could all just be barking up the wrong tree and just pulling our hair out for nothing. They could just be lying so that teams below them could trade up to get the quarterback that they want. Now, how low will the Panthers go?
I would say at least 5, all in different parts of the draft. It seems like that every year between 15 and 19. and it's right in that range once again this year. And then beyond that, it's a really strong second round, like kind of the next 30 to 40 players.
So there are a lot of trade suitors in the first 16 picks for the Panthers. They can move simply just one back with the Denver Broncos and still get the player that they want. They can go as far down as 12. I'd be comfortable moving down 4 spots to 12, getting maybe another third, maybe a second round pick from the Eagles, and they can still get who the Panthers believe, staying within that top 16, is a starting caliber player, potentially a Pro Bowl type player. And they did mention that their draft board is chock full of wide receivers, corners, and left tackles. So if they can just get more darts to throw at that board, to add to those rooms, to add to the competition, you are building a better team. Adam Schefter from ESPN said that this is before the newser, so Fit kind of confirmed this, that the Panthers are speaking with other teams to try to move down. Joe Person then says that the Panthers are intrigued by Ohio State quarterback Justin Fields. Now, judging by the scouting reports and what analysts are saying, Fields isn't lasting anywhere lower than top 10. If they want him, they might have to stick and pick and not trade down. Also, what does intrigued mean? If you, again, back to this boyhood crush, if you have a crush on someone, you're not intrigued by them. You are into it. You are all about it. You're not intrigued. Intrigued is like, I'm intrigued about trying escargot. Not, I need to try escargot. Not too into it. Like, I could live without it, but it looks interesting. Are they alive? Are they fried? That's intrigued. So if they're intrigued by Justin Fields, it means they're not into Justin Fields. And here's my reason why Fitterer and Rhule aren't completely sold on North Dakota State quarterback Trey Lance. This right here. The proof is in the pudding. Or in this case, the deviled eggs.
We went to Fargo, North Dakota, and the people in Fargo are amazing, absolutely amazing. And where we went to dinner, they said that was one of their delicacies. That was one of their best dishes, so I ordered it, and I ate it. And you know what? If I go back to Fargo, I'm getting them again.
But it was terrible.
It was awful.
Well, that just about confirms it. So that's some of the nitty-gritty stuff that we got from Rhule and Fitterer ahead of next Thursday's draft. And, of course, there were some lighter moments as well. Rhule, of course, previous news just talked about his tan and hanging out with Jimmy Johnson and looking all good with the family down the Florida Keys. This time around, sticking with that island theme, he was asked if you could listen to one album or one artist the entire time while stranded on a desert island, who would it be?
I say one artist, so you can listen to everything that they play, and for me, it would be Dave Matthews.
Not a big Dave Matthews guy. You guys let me know in the comments below who you would be listening to if you were alone on a desert island for the rest of your life. Personally, I'd be listening to some Darius Rucker, big Darius Rucker guy, even though he's a Miami Dolphins fan. Oh, and if I am going to be alone and I'm not going to have any significant others with me or anything, but I want to feel that sense of love, Leon Bridges. That dude will make me fall in love with a coconut. Another cool thing that happened this week was the NFL and NFLPA signed a new deal that certain positions no longer have restrictions on the numbers. Remember, normally running backs are from the 20s to 30s, linebackers are 40s to 50s, wide receivers are, in the 80s and a couple teens as well. But now the NFL is going CFL on us. That means we could see some particularly good Panther skill players switching from their double-digit to their single-digit college numbers that they had prior to coming to Charlotte. Christian McCaffrey. Now, when he was coming into the draft, I thought it was super dope that he was number 5, maybe because I grew up watching Reggie Bush at USC, and I thought number 5 was just so clean coming out of a skill player. I thought it was a pity that he couldn't be number 5 when he made it to the Carolina Panthers. He's got the cash because he just got paid to buy the rest of those number 22 jerseys and switch to his Stanford number 5. If Christian were to switch to number 5, would you buy a brand new number 5 Christian McCaffrey jersey, or would you get the heavily discounted number 22 jersey? Now, since we're talking about jerseys, I'm going to be out there and say that I think the Panthers need an overhaul in their uniform, their whole look, to be honest. New owner, new facility down in South Carolina, new coach, new culture. Just change it. It doesn't have to be too drastic. They're just a couple things. I'm not going to talk about it today because it's draft season and the real off season's coming. I'm going to save that for a little later, but I'm letting you guys know now. I think the Panthers need new jerseys. Mock draft time. Let's get all that information we got from Scott Fitterer and Matt Rhule to do this exercise. So this just happened. The Cowboys offered us their top 10 pick as well as their 75th pick. So we're just going to take that. So they took J.C. Horn. The Denver Broncos took Rashawn Slater. Some other teams are offering us some picks, but if we remember, Fitterer says there is a drop-off after the 16 to 19 range. So we're just going to say bye to all these guys and take a look at this. I don't know how this happened. This is a dream scenario. For some reason, the 9 teams before the Panthers all passed on the unicorn, Kyle Pitts. Now, we're not picking for need. We do not need a tight end of this caliber. However, if we're sticking to what they said in the newser, it's best player available. So, Kyle Pitts, who Matt Rhule has mentioned a couple times now, he offered a scholarship to while he was the head coach at Temple, now has an opportunity to reconnect. Damn it. To reconnect. With the 39th pick in the second round, we got Dave Gettleman calling us up. He's looking to move up. He says he never trades down, but he's looking to move up, give us the 42nd and the 76th for our 39th and 113th pick. Let's accept it. I'm going to take Alex Leatherwood out of Alabama because we need that left tackle still. We got 3 picks in the third round. So we got Rondale Moore out of Purdue, who is a big play waiting to happen. He's not a huge dude, but the dude is magnificent after the catch. Let's pick him up. Offensive guard, Ben Cleveland, big country. I love this guy. I always get towards him. He always seems to pop up when I do mock drafts. I'm going to pick him up. Josh Myers out of Ohio State, big program. We do need a center because Matt Paradis could be done after this season. We could just load up on this offensive line. Let's take Shi Smith, who balled out at the Senior Bowl, or Kerry Vincent Jr. We do have Dante Action Jackson on one side. We could link him up with another LSU Tiger on the other side. He's also an undersized cornerback. They do value length in Seattle when Fitterer was there, so this could be going against what he says. He's a baller. Let's go. Kerry Vincent Jr. Israel Mukuamu from South Carolina. Not my best 7-round mock draft, I'll be completely honest. Some of the players that fell on the board I wasn't too aware of. You may have noticed that. I didn't see any running backs that are worthy of picking to back up Christian McCaffrey or be that 1-2 punch. But I think we did okay, though. Did trade back with the Cowboys. Somehow still managed to get Kyle Pitts. Starter caliber left tackle in Alex Leatherwood. Got a dynamic wide receiver in Rondale Moore. So many Moores in the wide receiver room. And we built up that offensive line with some potential starter caliber guys in Ben Cleveland out of Josh Myers. Shi Smith, another spark plug type slot receiver who balled out at the Senior Bowl, adding more competition to that wide receiver room. Kerry Vincent Jr., pretty dang late to get a corner in this draft. I know that was definitely a need. That's it for episode 4 of the Panthers Post. This is the calm before the storm. On Thursday night, I will be filming myself reacting to the first round picks leading up to number 8 or wherever the Panthers will be picking from, broadcasting it and doing the same on Friday and doing the same on Saturday. My family might dislike me, but you guys will be happy. So make sure to like, subscribe, spread the word. Let me know how you feel about my 7-round mock draft, what you felt that Fitterer and Rhule were saying in their newsers, and also if you want to talk about jerseys, how you would want the Panthers to change it, or you like them the way they are. So again, thanks again for watching. We'll catch you guys in literally just a couple of days. See ya.